Hey everyone, it's Diego Viteri. Welcome to a new video of Viteri Boxing. Today I want to show you one of the best footwork techniques of Mike Tyson, the Tyson Shuffle. So let's begin. What is the Mike Tyson Shuffle? The Mike Tyson Shuffle is an explosive footwork that allows you to get into an angle, a 90-degree angle. And why would you want to be in a 90-degree angle? If I get to a 90-degree angle, it's obvious that my opponent can't hit me because I'm out of his sight and I can hit my opponent, and that's the whole point of boxing. Hit and don't get hit. And that was the whole philosophy of Cus D'Amato's boxing, Mike Tyson's trainer. So to begin, let's understand first what's a shuffle. A shuffle is basically exchanging my front leg with my rear leg, moving forward. If I'm standing here and I want to move forward, this is a shuffle, moving forward. If I want to move backwards, I exchange my rear leg with my front leg. This is a shuffle. So basically, this is shuffling, okay? To do the Mike Tyson Shuffle, I want to teach you in the traditional stance. I don't want to teach you in the peekaboo stance because that's a unique kind of style of being a little square. I already showed in other videos the Mike Tyson's peekaboo style, but I want to show you how to do this Mike Tyson Shuffle with a traditional stance. So let's begin with our traditional stance: front foot, left foot forward, right foot backwards. And we're gonna always make sure our center line from the tip of the toe to your ankle, okay? So we're gonna try to look for the 90-degree angle. And for that, we're gonna do this. We're gonna do a shuffle going on a 45-degree, a shuffle in a 45-degree. But at the same time, that's the first step. At the same time, as we do the shuffle, we're gonna turn our torso so we can be facing our opponent and we can hit him. Remember that when we go to our left, when we're going to our left with this Tyson Shuffle, we end up in a southpaw stance. I start up as an orthodox, but as soon as I do the shuffle, I end up as a southpaw. So, first step is only the shuffle and turning your torso, but you also have to make sure, step number 2, to have a kind of defense, some kind of defense. In this case, we're going to use our head. Normally, when we do any pivot, if we're going to pivot to our left, we use the head movement. We move our head out of the center line to prevent our opponent's straight punches or hooks, and then we turn. It's the same thing if we want to get into a 90-degree angle using Tyson Shuffle. We gotta do a head movement as a defense, and from here, we're just gonna shuffle and turn our torso. Shuffle and turn our torso, and from here we can just punch our opponent. Now I want to teach you how to do the Tyson Shuffle going to the right. Okay, first you have to see that my opponent here, my imaginary opponent here, is orthodox. I'm also an orthodox. And the most important thing is that normally when we're looking for angles, we're looking to move outside of his front leg. Normally that's because it's easier to move outside of his front leg because it's a shorter step and it's closer to me than moving to my left side that it's a lot farther away. If I want to move to my left side, I need a bigger step in order to create that angle. So normally most people, even Lomachenko, they try to look, of course, going to the back. So if we're going to the right side, what we're going to do is we're going to start in our orthodox stance, but the first thing we have to do is step forward. We got to shift. We're going to shift. Remember, the shift is basically stepping forward, passing your front leg. So we're going to shift, passing our front leg and moving our head out of the center line towards our front leg. This way I'm not going to get any shot from my opponent and I'm safe here. From this position that I step, I'm going to shuffle. Where my right leg is, my left leg is going to replace it. So here I just shift my weight, step, and then I shuffle and I turn my torso. And from here, of course, I can just punch my opponent from a 90-degree angle, which is perfect. Mike Tyson used his shuffle as an attack and also as a defense. First in this clip I want to show you how he shifted from the orthodox position to a southpaw. He basically stepped forward with his right leg, but also he hid his leg or his movement with his jab. It's really important he hit his movement with his jab. And from that position, of course, he just did the shuffle and continued punching his opponent. And of course, in this other clip, you can see how Mike Tyson used his pendulum defense, and he did the shuffle as a way of getting out of the line of attack. So basically, he slipped his punch or moved the head out of the position and shift his weight using the shuffle so he can continue punching his opponent. So he used both as an attack and also as a defense. My last tips for the Tyson Shuffle are: number one, you shouldn't be looking all the time to create these angles or looking for these angles, because you can get into your opponent's punch. You need the correct situation. If you are too far away, it's really hard to create any angle. That's why Mike Tyson was always looking to closing the gap, using his peekaboo, moving side to side, closing the gap. And when he was close to his opponent, he looked for the position. Number two, you need to be able to dominate both stances, southpaw and orthodox. Of course, when we move to our left, we end up in a southpaw position, and you need to be able to attack in a correct way. So make sure when you're training shadow boxing to use both orthodox and southpaw the same amount of time. And number three is you need a good head movement. Head movement, of course, is going to help you to avoid punches, get out of the line, but also to transfer your weight from one leg to another. That will make your movement even more explosive and get to the angle you want in a safe way. Thanks everyone for watching my video. Hope you enjoy it and you learn how to do the Tyson Shuffle. Of course, in order to have this technique automatically, you need to work 1,000 times on the heavy bag, on the shadow boxing, and of course during sparrings. So make sure to leave your comment below of what you want to learn next week, and I'll sure make the video for you. See you next week.